Hello, I'm Gregory Payne, the Chair of Communication Studies, the first communication department in the United States, also the co-director of the Emerson Blanquerna Global Center, and we're here for another episode of Payne on Politics. These particular episodes are focusing on Emerson College students, and today we're going to be interviewing and talking to Sophia, who is very, very active in Common Collective. Sophia, welcome to Payne on Politics.
Thank you, Dr. Payne.
Pleasure to have you here. Now, tell me a little bit about your background. You are from where?
I'm from Needham, Mass, which is about like 25 to 30 minutes to the west of Massachusetts. And I grew up in Boston. I grew up in Brookline and West Roxbury and then Needham.
Now, when we were talking earlier, you said that Emerson was really your top school. This is where you
Yes.
wanted to go.
Because I knew that I wanted to go into like communication studies, but I didn't know where or like what I wanted to do within that, which later I figure out, of course.
All right, so you come to Comm Studies, which of course is one of the first departments that we've had within the department. What is it that you have found about Comm Studies? Because you're a regular, you're up on the 8th floor, you're a definitive characteristic of the floor. So what makes it comfortable up here?
It's just it's very fascinating to come up here and be able to like feel that you can just like study outside or like in the conference room or like just honestly do whatever you want and like be whatever you want to be up here. As throughout my years at Emerson, I've like always asked like other people, like other of my friends, if they feel the same, if they feel comfortable like in their departments, and they're all like, meh, like I don't see too much with it. And I'm like, one of the questions that I've always asked my friends would be like, oh, do you know who your advisor is? And that's been like a common question I've asked, and a lot of my friends are like, no, I don't know who my advisor is. And they're like, why, do you know who yours is? And I'm like, yeah, he's my professor. I have 3 classes with him. He's helping me out, you know? Like, and then I would bring them up here, and I'd be like, how do you feel after that? And they'd be like, wow. It's just like very family based.
So we are a family, and of course you're an important part of that. One of the most exciting parts as a chair is to see extracurricular activities, and one that has grown and is actually, I think, one of our most successful is Common Collective. You are what? You're the head of Common Collective.
I am not the head of Common Collective, but I am an executive director on Common Collective as well.
I can't keep up with the titles. Okay, all right.
As well as the leader of the Center for Nonprofit Communications.
So what does the Center for Nonprofit Communication do? This is exciting.
Well, I am newly rolled into it as of this semester and next semester until I graduate. We're working with 3 different nonprofits currently.
Right.
We're working with one of my team members. Her name is Rebecca. She founded her own nonprofit back in Florida, where she's from, and she's hoping to like transition that over to Massachusetts. So I've been helping her with that. Also having our team work on different projects within her own nonprofit and careers among young students. And then we're also working with 2 other nonprofits outside of that. We're working with the Dimmick Center. We're working with them with branding and helping them brand their mission and their values.
Right.
And then we're also working with an organization called The Jar, which is founded by, his name is Guy, but he's an Emerson alumni. Mm-hmm. And
I know Guy.
You do know Guy.
Yes, I do. Yes.
He's a very fun guy.
He's also
Guy is a fun guy.
Brilliant creative individual.
He's brilliant,
yes,
brilliant person. I just had a call with him this morning. Beautiful, beautiful guy.
Yes.
But we're working with him creating media that is fun and like fresh for their social media. And we just recently went to their event. Nick Walker, and he's like originally from Brookline, which I was like, oh, I'm from Brookline technically. Like I live in Brookline too.
Yes.
Like that's a crazy concept. Small world, but we got some engagement from the audience, and we're just trying to capture like short form media with our phones that capture the aesthetic and the branding of the nonprofits, and that's our whole purpose with CNPC.
Well, you know, the Jar, it's exciting because I think one thing about Emerson is this alumni relationship connection. And we've had with the Jar and with the alum somebody who's really invited discussion and dialogue on difficult topics. I mean, he's always dealing with issues of the Middle East.
Yes.
It seems to me that what you're talking about is something that I feel very strong about, and that is that we give students the opportunity to learn in the classroom, but also to test those theories, those practices, those strategies in the real world.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think a lot of schools and a lot of departments in different places around the world may have like the misconception that you're very bubbled in or not really getting the experience or connections that you need. And I think nowadays, especially like connections and having those relationships with anyone that you really interact with, especially a college and like a department, like you should know everyone and like you should have that form of relationship is really important to build like trust and credibility in a business sense, credibility. But yeah.
Well, I have to say, I'm very excited about you all came up. You had your Chipotle day where you had some of your clients up here. It was terrific. Of course, we're big believers in gastro diplomacy and bringing people
Yeah.
together. If I said, Sophia, what do you see Sophia doing 3 years after you graduate? What would you like to be doing at that time?
In theory,
Yes.
my goal is to I figured this out like recently within the last 2 years, that I really wanted to put in place being in a nonprofit management position. I've been thinking about doing grad school and doing an MBA focused in nonprofit, but before that, probably working somewhere. I have really been looking into like working in a nonprofit that focuses in healthcare because I think that's really significant, especially right now. A lot of them are funding in ways that can be conflicting at the time right now, and I've been I really just want to do nonprofit management and like not being in the organization itself, but being like on a communication management standing.
Well, I think we are very, very lucky to have you. Of course, nonprofit is one of our strongest and one of our most popular minors here at Emerson College. What I'd like to say is for those people that really want to study communication, strategic communication, and also practice it, what you need to do is come and join Sophia in communication studies. So, Sophia, thank you for being a part of Payne on Politics.
Thank you.
What I would say, another example of what we say, hashtag Extraordinary Emerson 2030